your faith. Release your faith. Come on. I need you to release your faith over the weekend. And let me tell you this. I don't even want you to release the $65 if you ain't going to release your faith. Keep it. Because it ain't going to work for you. Don't release your $65. Keep it. Oh, yeah, that's the type prophet I am. I don't care nothing about no money, y'all. I'm a magnet for money. It's got to come to me. Know why? Because I know how to tithe and I know how to sow. So I don't care nothing about no money. Yeah. I'm telling you, keep it in your pocket if you can't release your faith with it. I'm never releasing a seed without releasing my faith. When I'm tithing. Tithing takes faith to tithe. Do y'all know everybody can't tithe? No, everybody can't tithe. Because they don't got faith enough. They look at that check and say, I can't give up 10% of this. No. I can't do that. I need this for this, this, and this, and this. They gonna keep needing it for this, this, and this, and this until they able to release unto God what's his. They stealing from God, but then think God gonna bless them. No, release that and let God work it. But I release my faith over any seed, any tithing, anything I release my faith. When I want God to do something for me, the first thing I do is release my faith. God, I need you to show up here. I need you to do this. So I'm releasing my faith. You got to release your faith. You want the job? Release your faith and go fill out the application and say, God, I'm releasing my faith. I'm claiming it. Oh, you want the business? You need to build it? Oh, God, I'm releasing my faith. I'm going to lay hands on the building. I'm going to drop oil around the building because I'm standing in faith that is mine. Oh, God, I want to get married. God, I'm in faith, God, that you're going to send Boaz to me because I ain't looking for nobody. Oh, man. Oh, God, I want to be married. Well, I'm releasing my faith that I'll find a Proverbs 31 woman. I'm releasing my faith on everything I do, everything I want. I need to put my faith in front of me. I'm putting my faith there. Deuteronomy 7, 8 and 9. It says, it was because the Lord loved you that he brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you from the land of slavery. Now therefore, that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love. Oh my God. Let's go back. It's because God loved you. He's allowing you to release your faith. Your faith, it says that he brought you out with a mighty hand. He brought you out, but you don't got the faith to believe that he can bring you up. Oh my God. My God. He brought you out. He said, and I redeemed you from the land of slavery. When you was in sin, you was enslaved to the devil. When you was in sin, you was enslaved. Yeah, these days we're not in slavery like our ancestors were, but you were in slavery with the devil because he was telling you what to do and what not to do. He was directing you. That the Lord your God is God, the only one God, one and truly God. There's no other God but him. He is the faithful God. I'm telling you, release your faith because God will be faithful unto you. When you hold him back, what belongs to God, he can't be faithful to you. When you acting nasty to people and you holding stuff in your heart against people, it's hard for God to be faithful to you. Release your faith. We got a couple days left in March, and I believe that God can still do it for you in March, but you got to release your faith. You got to stand on that solid rock. You got to lock your faith in. You got to trust God and know, God, you're going to do this for me. I'm in faith for it. You can't just say, oh, God, please do this for me. All right, I'm going to wait and see if God do it. If he do it, he do it. If he don't, he don't. No, God, I'm in faith. I'm standing strong. My faith is big, and I'm expecting the manifestation of this. I'm expecting to see your hand at work, because you told me in Deuteronomy that you are faithful, God, and you keep your covenant of love for me. And I know you love me, God. So I'm standing on your word, God. It was a man. It was a man that he started a company, and a company that specialized in drilling for oil. And he started it with just himself and one assistant. And then it started growing. It started prospering. It was growing and growing. So he was spending a lot of time traveling around and checking on different sites. So he was traveling and looking at different sites for his business. And one day he saw a competitor of his. It was a competitor's employees. What was it? This what they was doing. His competitor was boarding, watch this, their plane. So this person does the same thing he does in drilling for oil. But the difference is he didn't have a plane, they did. He was getting blessed and growing, but they had already grown. They owned their own plane flying out. So when he seen them boarding the plane, and it was a company airplane, doing the same thing he was doing, but in a fraction of time, because they had their own plane. So watch this. God dropped a dream on him. So when God dropped the dream in his heart that he could have his own plane. Y'all been looking at other people shining. Y'all been looking at other people with big things. Y'all been looking at other people businesses flowing. You've been looking at other people being the CEO. You've been looking at other people in the nice house with the nice car, and you feel like you can't get there. That's not true. Release your faith. So God put it in his heart and said, you can have that too. But he couldn't have it unless he released his faith for it, because financially it didn't fit his finances at this time. He was growing, but he wasn't that big yet. So they flying, and it's taking them, they getting there like this. He flying and traveling and driving, but he got to fly commercial. He got to drive, and it's taking longer. They getting there in a fraction of time. They getting there quickly because they had a jet. But some of you got to realize God is preparing you for something bigger, but he needs you to release your faith. He don't put it in your heart, but he's waiting for your faith to catch up with your heart. You done dreamed it, but he's waiting for your faith, my God, to be able to manifest the dream that he gave you. He's waiting for your faith to release what he showed you, but you got to walk by faith and not by sight, because you're looking at, I can't afford it. I can't do it. I don't got the resources. I don't got the money. I don't got the education. But if God put it in your heart, all you got to do is release your faith. So when his family member, when they heard him talking about having a plane, they thought he had done lost his mind. And some of you are dealing with that right now. Some of your friends is telling you, you done lost your mind. You can't do that. You can't have that. Oh no, you can't get that building. You can't build that house. You can't drive that car. That'll never work for you. You got family members telling you, you done lost your mind. Why are you even trying to do this? This is too big for you. Why are you trying to have this? It's too much for you. You tell them God said I can have what I say. And I'm walking by faith. And I'm speaking faith. I can have this. I can do this. I can open this. It is mine. So they thought he had done lost his mind. They couldn't imagine it. But he could. Oh my God. They couldn't imagine it. Him riding and having his own plane. But he could. Why? Why could he? Because he released his faith. He was trusting God. They can't imagine it, but I can see it. They can't imagine it, but I know a God can do it. They can't imagine it, but my faith is going to get it to me. Sometimes your family will not encourage you. Sometimes your friend will not push you and encourage you. Sometimes friends and family will doubt what God put in you. Oh, Ace, you got to catch it. Sometimes your friends and family, Carla B, will say something is wrong with you, but you got to know what God showed you. You got to know you got faith. You got to know you serve a God who owns a cattle on 1,000 hills. All the silver and gold is his. You got to know who you serve. You got to know who you are. You got to know that you are a child of God, because they're not always going to encourage you. They're not going to always push you because they think something is wrong with you because you got big faith. So you got to listen to what God is telling you and not what other people is telling you. You got to start speaking and vision and have it in your vision what God is showing you, what God is telling you, not what other people are telling you. People will try to talk you out of your dream. People will try to talk you out of your dream. And a lot of people not walking in their dream because of what a family member said, because of what somebody else said, what a teacher said. And now you're not walking in your dream because of they saying, and you're not listening to what he's saying, what he putting in you. You allowing their garbage to come in you. And now a lot of people ain't do what they was born to do because of what somebody else said. And now it got you down. It got you feeling like you can't do it. You done took that and put it in your spirit. And you never accomplished it. You never even took a step towards it. You never kept going when you did start it because of what somebody else said. Release your faith and get back to it. Release your faith and get on it. Release your faith and go do it. Release your faith because it's yours. You just got to release your faith. So what the man did was, he brought a model of the airplane he wanted and he set it on his desk. He said, I'm going to get this. So what did he do? He set it on his desk. So what he was doing when he set it on his desk, he was putting it in his spirit. It allowed him to release his faith. It allowed him to look at his vision instead of looking at what they said. It allowed him to see where God was going to take him and not think about what they were saying. Think about that he could never have it. He could never do it. He could never purchase it. No, he said, I'm going to set a model of that same plane that I want on my desk so I could keep it. What I told y'all the other day about keeping it in front of you, seeing it, visualizing it, knowing this is mine. Because they said he lost his mind. But he kept the faith and put it on his desk. And when people asked him, they asked him this. They were saying, what is the plane for? And he told them, that's my plane. What is this picture for? That's my business. What is this picture for? That's the building I'm getting. What is this picture for? That's the car I'm about to drive. What is this picture for? That's the house I'm building from the ground. What is this picture for? This is where God is about to take me. This is where I'm going from country to country. Why you got all these countries posted? Because God gonna use me in each one of them. They asked him, why do you got this plane on your desk? Because he said, that's my airplane. That's what I'm going to use to travel the country. That's what he told them. And year after year, he kept that plane right there in front of him. But watch this. Watch how good God is. Oh, watch my God. It didn't happen instantly, but his faith never left. It didn't happen the same year or the next year, but his faith never dwindled. And one day, because he released his faith, he kept looking at it. He kept seeing it, and he kept claiming it. One day, that same competitor that he seen getting on that plane, watch how God do. He'll use somebody that's against you to bless you. He'll use somebody that's in competition with you to bless you. He'll use somebody that shouldn't be nowhere around you because you're doing the same thing they doing. But he'll use that same person to bless you. So when he seen that competitor that he seen flying around, walking into his office, he said this. The competitor said, I'm retiring. Oh God, I feel the presence of God. And I'd like to sell you my airplane. The same plane that he had in front of him. The same plane years ago he seen that man walked on, and he had faith to get his own. And so he said he couldn't afford that beautiful 12-seater plane. He was hoping to buy a little 2-seater plane. And he said, I can't afford your plane. I'm in faith for a 2-seater plane. But this was a 12-seater plane. He said, I appreciate the effort, but I don't have those kinds of funds in my account. I can't get to them kind of funds for that expensive plane right now. And then his competitor said, sure you do. All I want you to do is just take over my monthly payments, and you could just have the plane. My God. He can afford the monthly payments, but he couldn't afford to buy the plane. He said, all I want you to do is just take over the monthly payments. I'm giving you the plane. My God, Sekanabasi. Woo! God is saying there's some things he's about to just give to you. You don't got to be able to afford it. It's some people you gonna run into, they just gonna give you the building because you can't afford it. It's gonna be some people say, what can you afford to pay? Even though I'm charging $3,000 a month for this building, but you say you can afford $1,000 a month, it's yours. Wait a minute, you're gonna lose $2,000 a month. I don't care, I just wanna do this for you. God is about to put you in front of people, and you're not gonna understand, why are they doing this for me? Only thing I can tell you is it's God. It's God. Why are you doing this for me, God? It's God. They might don't even like you. You might be in competition with you. But God. Why? Because you was in faith for it. So God said, let me make a move. You was in faith for it. So God said, let me touch the heart of somebody else. You was in faith for it. So God said, I'll do it for you because your faith has made you whole. Your faith. He said, I don't have them kind of funds accessible. Don't worry about it. Take over these payments and I'm gonna give you the plane. You don't owe me nothing. He got that big, beautiful plane for a fraction of the value. My God, some of you about to get some things that's valued for more than what you paid for it. Its value, you could turn around and sell it for way more than what you got it for. And today that same man flies all over the world. And he said, God has done more than he ever could imagine. Your faith will allow God to do more than what you can imagine. He put the plane there, but actually when he put the plane on his desk, he was in faith for just a 2-seater plane. And God turned around and said, no, you seen the 12-seater and you start building your faith. No, I'm going to give you the 12-seater. That's why I tell y'all, stop limiting God. Stop expecting, well, I'm going to be in faith for the little one because I'm not going to be in faith for the big one, but I'm going to be in faith for the little one. No, be in faith for the big one. Stop being in faith to make 100,000 for your business a year and say, I'm gonna be in faith to make 500,000 for my business a year. Don't be in faith for a Honda when you could be in faith for a Mercedes. Don't be in faith for baby stuff when you could be in faith for big things. Come on, somebody. It's in your faith today. When you keep your vision in front of you, I done told you this a lot of times. That's your faith being released. When you keep your vision in front of you, all it is you're releasing your faith. Go get a picture of it. Go write it down. Go pin it where you can see it, where you can walk past a smile and say, that's coming to me. Oh, that's going to be me. Oh, my business going to do. If you got a business, go see somebody that business is making millions of dollars. And put that in front of you with their business making and say, that's going to be my business. That's why the scripture used such strong language that says people perish for the lack of vision. You perish because your vision is little. You perish because your vision is lacking. You lacking in your vision. That's why you've been doing the same thing year after year, getting the same amount of money year after year. You ain't even go and open your business. And if you did open your business, you just settling for the little pennies you getting. Why? Because you're lacking in vision. That means your dreams died when you didn't have vision. You can't see what God has put in your heart because you done lost your vision. And then you'll miss something, some incredible things that God want to do for you because you done missed your vision. You got lack of vision. You done perish because of the lack of vision. Now you can't even walk in what God put in your heart. My God, I'm trying to teach him today, Malik. Trying to help somebody today. The moment God put a dream in your heart, at that very moment, at the moment the promise took root, God not only started it, but he set it. He set a completion date for you. My God. The very moment God put that in your heart, he already set a completion date for you. But it's going to take your faith to walk in it. God already put it in your heart. He set a completion date, but he's waiting on your faith to move it. Your faith to open it. See, God will bring your dreams to pass. Now you got to do your part and break out of it. Break out of anything holding you back, because the enemy want to paralyze you to your current situation. He don't want you to grow. He don't want you to be in faith for nothing bigger. He don't want you to walk in exceedingly and abundantly. He don't want you to walk in overflow. He wants your business stuck. He wants you at that job for 30 years making that same amount of money. He don't want you to elevate to the CEO. He don't want you to have the biggest office in your job. He don't want your business to boom. He wants you driving that putt-putt. He wants you living in that bad neighborhood. He don't want you in the suburb. He don't want you building a house. He wants you stuck. So what he do is he hits you. And then your faith drop. Then you have no vision. You don't even see what's in front of you, what God put in you. And then you perish for the lack of vision, and it never happens for you. And you die, you go to heaven, yeah. You're living good in heaven, but you don't want to be blessed down here. You don't want to have nothing down here. You don't want to live in abundance down here. The Bible tells us he wants us to live abundantly. And abundantly, just not finances neither. That's in health, peace, joy, and happiness. That's abundant living. good health, peace, joy, and happiness, finances flowing. Your mind stayed on him. Your mind right, that's abundant living. Release your faith today and watch God. Don't release your seed without releasing your faith. Keep your seed if you ain't gonna connect it with your faith. Don't sow over here until you're able to connect your faith with your seed. Don't ask me to pray for you to get a car or a house, a bonus, a raise, until you release your faith. Then you can ask me for prayer for that. Because it ain't valid. It's non and void without your faith. I need you to release your faith first. Then you can release everything else. Father in heaven, I pray today and I say thank you that the fulfillment of our dreams is on the way, my God. The fulfillment of our dreams is about to manifest because, God, we're locking our faith in. Not our faith in man, but our faith in you, God. So our dreams is about to be unlocked. Our dreams is waking back up. We're putting our dreams back in front of us today, knowing that they're on the way. Even the secret petitions of our heart, God. And God, you spoke the words into existence, God. My God. And you have us in your palms. You have us, God, in the palms of your hands, God. So now we just